Hi, guys. I have been excited for a long while about the writing and ideas that astrologer and Jungian analyst Liz Green articulates in her often very thick books. This is the one I'm looking into now, called The Astrological Neptune. And my interest in Neptune, beyond the fact that it shows up in my astrological chart quite a bit, and I'm exploring astrology. I'm a new student to astrology, but I've always been very interested in correspondences, the way that elements of our internal human experience are often reflected very directly and concretely by the manifest world. The relationship between the human mind and the heavens is one of parables and stories, poetry, more than it is the orientation of scientific thinking. So we're dealing with symbolism here. And anyway, this book is totally full of these exciting ideas. And there's a chapter called Neptune and the Artist, which I have been reading. And I just wanted to present this one thought that she wrote in here and kind of digress on it just a little bit. So here's what she writes. Reality is nature and the human heart. The purpose of art is to connect men and women with the transpersonal forces of the natural world, which they have lost through industrialization and science. This connection can only be accomplished through their feelings. And then she goes on to say, and the expression of feeling is achieved most purely and gloriously through melody. I was thinking about how the arts are so inextricably interconnected. And for me, my painting practice is often simultaneously a listening practice, or it's always a listening practice, but often it literally involves listening to music and being influenced by music. This feeling that she talks about being achieved gloriously through melody, it's just kind of that getting in touch with that felt connection to our manifest humanity. How does music open the door, open the heart, so that then our movement and our gesture becomes an expression of that feeling? And my hope is that in the same way that a martial artist, specifically a Tai Chi swordsman or something like this, hopes to extend Chi through the sword or through the pen, through the paintbrush, extending the Chi through the instrument. So it's this idea of the melody opens your heart and it comes out through the body, and how do you then extend that through whatever tool you're using to make marks with your painting or gestures with your painting? How do you use that to tune in with the colors that you're using, the materials you're using? How does that expression translate? So where do the lines begin and end? Where does music become dance, become painting? For me, they're absolutely inextricably bound in together. And by cultivating a technical study of music and a technical study of painting, and then combining these in the laboratory, my hope is that there's this melodious dynamic that's captured or conveyed by the painting. And at the very least, within the experience of the painting process, there's this dwelling within this imaginative space. So reality is nature and the human heart. I just love that. And that art, the purpose of art is to connect men and women with the transpersonal forces of the natural world. For a long time, I've seen my painting practice as a way of distilling or conveying the weather patterns of what it is to be a human being, a human woman. And the weather patterns of the emotions, the weather patterns of the mind, how they fluctuate like weather. They're ephemeral like weather. They come and they go. And the only time they really actually stay around and get stagnant is when we're caught in a neurotic kind of recycling, which doesn't happen in nature. The forces of nature move and are constantly moving in ebb and flow. So, yeah, I guess I just want to leave it at that. I'm just very excited and inspired by these different ideas that come through, specifically in the divinatory arts, that focus on the symbolic, this connection that the human mind has through the sensuous human body with the natural world. So your thoughts are always welcome. Your critiques are welcome. Just be gentle with me, please. And I suspect that I'm going to have different ideas and more to say specifically on this book and this idea of Neptune and the artist in the future, because it's very rich and there's a lot to talk about. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.